The first stop on my senior graduation trip, I broke up with Julia, my childhood sweetheart. Why? Because she wanted to share a room with me? Yep. Julia didn't try to comfort me. Fine, just don't regret it. She was sure I couldn't live without her. She went on to travel with a poor student through 3 countries and only called me on college application day. We can argue, but don't forget to apply to the same school as me. Richard, I'm Julia. I'm here for you this lifetime. Got it? She didn't know I gave up on F University and applied to G University instead. From now on, I don't need her in my world. I had planned to explore the world with Julia after the college entrance exam. On the day of departure, our duo became a trio. We flew from H City and arrived in Georgia. Only when we reached the hotel did I find out that Eric couldn't afford his own room and needed to share with Julia. I disagreed, and Eric sarcastically said, "Richard, you, who never worry about money, probably don't understand how humbling it is for someone like me to save money. Just the round-trip ticket used up 3 years' worth of part-time job savings from my summer breaks. Since Julia booked a double room, having an extra bed is a waste, might as well let me use it. But rest assured, we're just sharing the room, definitely not the same bed. Sorry to trouble you. Please help me out?" His eyes reddened, his voice trembled, and he swayed as if he were pitiful. But I didn't see his humility, only his lack of boundaries. I refused to indulge him and was firm. "No, Julia, if we're still together, you can't share a room with another guy, even with 2 beds. I can't accept it." Julia coaxed me. "Come on, he's broke. What do you expect him to do?" I didn't understand and bluntly asked, "If he's broke, why insist on tagging along on an overseas trip? Does graduating mean someone hit the lottery at home?" Eric's eyes got even redder, and he looked down, fighting back his emotions. "Sorry, it's my fault. My family is poor. Poor people aren't worthy of seeing the world, just of working summer jobs. It's all my fault you're arguing. Sorry." Eric suddenly collapsed, covering his face with his hands. Everyone around us stared as if I was bullying him. I already felt wronged, and then Julia pulled me aside and said, "Enough, why are you so aggressive now? It's not his fault he's poor. It's no big deal, let him share with me tonight." My girlfriend sharing a room with another guy on a trip? Isn't that a big deal? I worked hard planning the trip for over a month, dreaming of how sweet it'd be, just the 2 of us. Seeing the snow-capped mountains, walking through fields, strolling by the sea, visiting European squares. I had been secretly thrilled all night before the trip. And this is how it turned out? At that moment, I felt the whole graduation trip was pointless. "Julia, let's break up." "What did you say? Break up?" I didn't want to compromise. In the future, whether you're caring for a poor student or sharing a room while wandering the world, it has nothing to do with me, Richard. I grabbed my suitcase and headed for the door. I just wanted to get away from those who were making me feel bad. Julia finally panicked and grabbed my wrist. But she smiled and said, "You know you can't live without me, yet you keep threatening to break up with me. What's the point?" Her carefree smile was like a slap in my face. I shook off her grip away and fought back tears. My heart shattered. "I'm serious, it's not a threat. Julia, if you share a room with him, we're done. No negotiation." I took the strongest stance, hoping Julia would see how serious it was. Julia still thought I was just being difficult. "Fine, don't regret it." And Eric, with his suppressed yet pathetic voice, "I envy Richard, who can argue with you like this. We poor folks don't even dare argue. This is probably what it means to be favored and fearless. But are you really not going after him? What if he truly breaks up with you?" I heard Julia's confident voice behind me. "He won't. We've known each other since we were 3. Childhood sweethearts, were destined to be together forever. Even our college applications, we decided to apply to the same school." Julia openly flaunted our relationship in front of Eric. If it were before, I would have reflected, wondering if I was being too petty. But I was done overthinking. I left the hotel straight for the airport and bought the earliest flight back home. Mom saw the ticket info and called me. "Richard, weren't you going to Georgia with Julia? Why did you buy a ticket back home?" I had already checked in my luggage, waiting alone at the airport. Mom, Julia and I broke up. My mom just laughed. Again? What time is this? Isn't Georgia said to be God's backyard? With snow-capped mountains, glaciers, beaches, and castles? I've been planning this graduation trip for a month, looking forward to it every day. Plus, I wanted to take pictures with Julia at every spot, capturing our youth. Wouldn't it be a shame to miss out? Turns out, not even my mom believed I'd break up with Julia for real. No wonder Julia acted so fearlessly, like she wasn't scared of me leaving. But I'm serious this time. Julia and I grew up together. From kindergarten to the end of high school, she waited for me every morning, come rain or shine, with my favorite milk in her hand. She never said she bought it just for me. She'd just ruffle my hair when I took the cup and say, "Drink it up, don't dawdle." I remember during the scorching summer of 7th grade, the classroom felt like an oven. I casually said, "I want some ice cream." Julia jumped over the school wall and came back, sweating buckets. She handed me a slightly melted mango ice cream and said, "Eat it. This place is your favorite with real mangoes." Even the school's heartthrob asked her, "Julia, can you bring me one too?" She just glanced at him, flashed a lazy grin and said, "I don't know you like that. I only bring these for my Rich." She called me Rich and I thought we'd be together forever. With the stress of high school, we'd often watch the stars from the rooftop. I'd anxiously ask, "Julia, will we really stay together? I heard college is far away." She'd laugh like I'd asked a silly question and point to the 2 brightest stars overhead while wrapping her arm around me. "See those 2? They've been hanging out since they started shining. Even if the Earth explodes, we'll blast off to the edges of the universe together." Her voice was bold and calm. "Rich, you have to understand. I'm Julia, and I exist for you." But then she suddenly stopped, reassuring me over some new transfer student with a hard luck story. I cried and threw fits, but all she did was laugh. "You're mad again? For the umpteenth time? I don't even like him, just feel bad for him. Why be jealous? Come on, don't be like this." I wanted to tell Julia, "Fine, from now on, I won't make a fuss anymore. Yesterday was beautiful, but it was just the past. If continuing means losing myself, I'd rather let go." I told my mom seriously, "Mom, I'm not kidding. I'm breaking up with Julia. You told me I have to love myself first." She paused, stunned, then head back home. "You still need to submit your college applications before long." I said, "All right." I'd originally planned to apply with Julia to F University. But now I've changed my plan. "Mom, I want to apply to G University." My mom was surprised. "You're not planning to attend the same school as Julia anymore? Julia's applying to F University, and G is far from F. What if you regret this later?" I shook my head firmly. "If not even you believe I'm serious about breaking up, then let physical distance help me move on. Doesn't everyone say time and distance can fade feelings? I admit I can't completely forget Julia just yet, but distance might help me cut ties for good." I spent 2 hours at the airport before finally boarding the plane. After a layover in H City and a day of traveling, I got to Z City. As soon as I turned off airplane mode, I saw Eric's updates spamming my social media feed. First meal after landing. Thanks to Julia for knowing I didn't have enough cash. She shared her main dish with me. Warm stomach, warm heart. There was a picture of Eric with a shy smile. That restaurant was a spot I'd recommended to Julia after doing lots of research. Now she took Eric there? I didn't want to cry, but tears welled up. My curiosity got the better of me, and I saw another post. "The snow-capped mountains are stunning. Thanks to Julia for patiently taking my photos, even after so many retakes. Her skills are incredible. That mountain was where I dreamed of taking photos with Julia. Look at that. She's becoming Eric's personal photographer." Then Julia called, "Rich, you finally turned on your phone. Why'd you sneak off back home? We've been planning this trip for months, and now it's just me and Eric." So she knew she and Eric were all alone? Then how was rooming together appropriate? Julia complained. "I'd planned to give him the room and sneak into yours for a surprise at night. Now what? If I hadn't seen Eric's posts, I'd be regretting my choices. So she was planning this? I could do without such surprises. Aren't you both having a great time? Julia nonchalantly replied, "There you go again. I don't like him, but since he's here, I'll show him around. Plus, he's saved up for 3 years to afford the tickets." That evening, Eric messaged me. "Rich, you awake? I'm really sorry. I wanted Julia to come back for you, but I caught a cold at the mountain and have a fever. My throat hurts and I can't talk. Julia is feeding me ginger tea now. As soon as I'm better, I'll have her return. Sorry, it's my bad to be such a burden." Right after the message, there was a photo. In the dim hotel room light, Julia was holding a bowl in one hand and a spoon in the other. I knew Eric was deliberately trying to get under my skin. In the past, I'd always take the bait and confront Julia about it. But now I just see it as pointless. That evening, my dad called me to talk. "I heard from your mom that you want to apply to G University. Does Julia know?" I shook my head sadly. "No need to tell her. But you two have been together for so long. Can you really stand being apart? Even if I don't want to, I have to. I didn't want to keep getting drained emotionally." "Dad, G University has more international resources. Plus, Uncle Simon teaches there. If I go, I can tap into his network and resources. It'll be better for my future. Between love and a better future, I'm choosing the latter." My dad seemed surprised, probably realizing for the first time how rational I could be. "All right, go for G University. I support you. If Julia tries to walk things back, tell her to apply to G University with you." Dad overestimated it. Julia didn't come back to try and win me over. After Eric got better, she traveled with him to 3 different countries. It wasn't until the deadline for college applications that she called to remind me, "No matter our issues, don't forget to apply to the same school as me. Eric and I will be back in 2 days. Miss me?" I said, "I don't, and I won't in the future either." Julia chuckled, "You're all talk." She didn't realize it wasn't just talk. I had already applied to G University. We wouldn't be attending the same college anymore. Even though I still toss and turn at night, dreaming of her. Once the semester starts, the distance will help me get over her for good. I hung up and immediately blocked Julia's number. My mom set up a new travel plan for me. She said there were things to do besides seeing the world after graduation, like getting a private pilot's license. The day Julia and Eric returned, I was in first class on my way to Australia. My mom enrolled me in a flight school in New Zealand. It was a 2-month course. The schedule was jam-packed. Besides basic flying skills, we learned meteorology, aviation laws, aerodynamics, meteorology again, and navigation. I was like a sponge, soaking up this new knowledge with focus and determination. My classmates were from all over the world. Some were there for career goals, others just for the challenge. Our conversations were only about flying, weather, and our next practice target. The vibe was simple and pure. No one made me feel guilty for not being wealthy. By the end of summer, I finally got my pilot's license. I boarded the plane back home. I didn't expect Julia to be there to pick me up. She tried to take my suitcase, but I didn't let her. She laughed. "Still mad? 2 months and you're still hung up on that little issue. It was just helping a student in need. Don't you love doing charity work too?" She still thought it was a minor thing, but whatever, it didn't matter anymore. "Julia, we broke up. Besides, charity is voluntary, not forced. And it shouldn't be driven by the poverty label. Why do we always argue over someone who doesn't matter? Also, aren't you coming with me to our first day of school in 3 days?" "Nope. I was going to G University, she was going to F University. There was no way we were enrolling together." But Julia didn't know that, and I didn't bother telling her. Julia ruffled my hair and said, "Always arguing with me. Fine, since you're my little Richard, I'll just let it slide." She forcefully took my suitcase from me, put her arm around me, and casually started planning our future. My dad bought a villa near F University. If you can't get used to dorm life, we could live off campus together. Feeling better now? She thought it would make everything all right and drove me home. She even made sure to boast, "I have to visit my grandma these next 2 days. Be good, and I'll come to get you in 3 days. We'll go to school together." This time Eric wanted to ride with us, but I turned him down just for you. She then grabbed my phone and pulled herself off my blocked list. She tapped my forehead. Don't block me again. Got it? My parents came out to greet me. They saw Julia humming and driving off joyfully, thinking she had smoothed things over. Mom asked, "You didn't tell Julia you applied to G University?" I shook my head. You didn't either, right? My parents kept my application to G University private too. I took 2 days at home to rest and felt unprecedented peace. The past anxiety, unease, and uncertainty seemed to have dissipated with time. The day before school started, my parents flew with me to G City. Uncle Simon picked us up at the international airport. Hearing that I had spent the summer in Australia getting a pilot's license, Uncle Simon's eyes lit up. Awesome, you've really grown up. At last, you're no longer obsessing over that childhood friend named Julia. Always talking about her. That's great. Young people should learn more useful skills while they have the energy. Plus, you did so well on your exams to get into G University's finance program. I'm surprised and delighted. I felt proud of myself too. The heartbreak, jealousy, and self-doubt didn't defeat me. Instead, it was like a wake-up call, pushing me to look up, not just to stare at the lighthouse named Julia, but to truly examine the path beneath my feet. Of course, there were still bad feelings. I remembered all of senior year, being blamed by Julia repeatedly because of Eric. You're so petty. Stop it. Can't you just be reasonable? He's from a poor background. Have some sympathy. Can't you? That feeling of being let down and ignored. It's disappointing and unfair. It's like a heavy sandbag, piling up little by little on my chest. I remember clearly the subtle change between me and Julia. It was the second morning after Eric transferred to our class. As usual, at 6:15, Julia should have shown up at my doorstep with the milk I loved, waiting to go to school with me. It was our unbroken ritual for 15 years. From elementary to high school, rain or shine, I got used to seeing her waiting for me in the morning light. But that day, no one was under the tree. I went to school alone and only saw Julia and Eric show up late after reading 2 lessons. Her hands were empty. I asked her, "Where's my milk?" Julia scratched her head. "Oh, I gave it to Eric." Then she laughed it off. "Don't mention it. He's new and doesn't know the way. Lives kinda out of the way. And he was afraid of being late, so asked me to pick him up. While on the way, he mentioned that he's been having plain buns and water for breakfast his whole life and has almost forgotten what milk tastes like. I felt sorry for him and gave him your bottle. It's no big deal, Richard. Don't be stingy. I'll bring you 2 tomorrow." She habitually tried to ruffle my hair, like it was just a minor incident. Honestly, it was just a bottle of milk, not a big deal for me. But I wasn't expecting what happened next. Eric suddenly teared up. "It's all my fault. Richard, calm down, I shouldn't have taken it. You probably grew up in comfort and never experienced mornings with cold hard buns, when even a sip of hot milk was a luxury. You don't know what that's like. I'm sorry, I won't take your stuff again. I promise." I was dumbfounded, completely taken aback by Eric's sudden attack. His tears and words fell perfectly. Our classmates whispered behind my back, "Is it really such a big deal? Just a bottle of milk? Poor Eric. I heard his family is really struggling. Oh, the spoiled rich kid, always fussing over little things. Can't relate to what it's like down here." And Julia's stuck in the middle. Julia heard the murmurs too and pulled me aside, trying to calm things down. "Come on, it's no big deal. Let's not make a fuss." But I hadn't said anything. It was Eric's first time wielding his poverty as a weapon, making me seem like an unreasonable rich kid. In truth, many disappointments accumulate bit by bit. Later arguments were just escalations of that scene. Looking back now, my restraint and repeated self-doubt, is it really me being petty? Were only preludes to today's complete break. Julia probably never truly understood. When the trust and favoritism are continuously chipped away, the ultimate collapse means a complete split. She excitedly called me, "My Richard, open up. I'm back from Grandma's and brought your favorite pastries." "Not home?" I rang the bell a bunch, no one's answering. "Are you still asleep? Wake up, sleepyhead. Today we report to F University. If you don't get up, I'll drive there alone." She didn't know that I was already on my way from the airport, sitting in Uncle Simon's car, heading to a new school. But not F University, but G University. I told her, Julia, don't wait. Drive there yourself. I wish you the best at F University. Julia chuckled on the other end. You're such a grump. Are you awake? I'm down here waiting for you. I promise it's just us this time. Even though Eric got into F University too, I'm firm this time. He messaged me a bunch, but I didn't let him hitch a ride. Is that sincere enough? I leaned my head against the window, watching the unfamiliar streets of G City. No need. Belated sincerity is worth less than grass. I'm already on my way to school. But it's not to F University, it's to G University. Julia, G University? Stop joking. We promised to go to F University together. I know you're just trying to scare me, right? Are you still mad at me? Didn't we make up 3 days ago? I calmly replied, it's true. I don't believe you. Julia's voice suddenly sounded panicked. I bet you're still in bed. Want me to climb through your window and drag you out? I heard rustling noises from my phone and then the voice of a security guard. Young lady, what are you doing? That's dangerous, come down. No one's home, they're all in G City. Really, not lying to you, that's trespassing. The chairman called personally to say his son's off to G University. The whole family went to help with orientation, and no one's home. He asked us to keep an eye on the house. Hey, are you listening? Don't cry. What's with that expression? Somebody call her mom. Something's not right. She looks lost. I didn't listen further, hung up. I knew Julia would take some time to accept it. But just like breaking away from her, no matter how painful, one day you'll get through it. I deleted Julia from my phone completely again. From now on, our past love and entanglements have nothing to do with me anymore. Unexpectedly, that night she bought a plane ticket and rushed to the dorms at G University. Seeing me walk out of the boys' dorm, she finally believed what I'd been saying. Her eyes were red, her voice shattered. That usual bold confidence was gone, leaving only a sense of abandonment and confusion. Why? Is it because of him, Eric? She almost yelled, drawing stares from passing students. Richard, do you even know what you're doing? We promised each other a lifetime together, in the same college, the same city, the same future. How can you? Her voice choked, full of disbelief and devastation. Are you really giving up on me? Do you really not want me anymore? Watching her almost collapse in front of me stirred something inside. 15 years of memories flashed uncontrollably. The nights on the rooftop looking at stars, the ice cream smuggled over the wall, the milk she handed me in the morning. But it all froze at the moment in Georgia when she laughed and said, "Fine, don't regret it." I looked at her calmly, almost cruelly. Julia, I decided at that hotel entrance over 2 months ago that I was done with you. I clearly told you then we're breaking up. You nodded and agreed. You said, fine, don't regret it. I don't regret anything. Why are you breaking down? My calm was the final straw. What do you mean you're done with me? What do you mean breaking down? Those were just angry words, couldn't you tell? I thought you'd be the same as before, over it after some fuss. How can you declare our 15-year-old relationship dead like this? She tried to grab my hand, but I easily avoided it. She, once proud and confident, looked like an abandoned stray cat now, lost on what to do with me. She finally pulled out her phone, her voice shaking terribly. I'll delete Eric right now, block him. We'll have nothing to do with each other again. I'll never help him again. Look at me, Richard, just look at me. I didn't want my calm to highlight her disarray, so I shook my head. Go, don't make a scene here for others to laugh at. Laugh? It was like she heard the most absurd thing and gave a bitter smile. Tears finally fell unexpectedly. Even my Richard doesn't want me, what do I have left to face anymore? Her emotions were completely out of control. Tears mixed with a pained expression. There was no trace of the once confident girl. She was like a child abandoned by the whole world, lowering her voice to nearly begging. Richard, my Richard, please don't do this to me. Did you forget the words I said? I said, my life is for you, Richard. I meant it then, and I still do. I planned everything, made my dad buy a villa next to F University. I supervised the renovation this summer into a style you love. You said you wanted a ragdoll cat, but your mom's allergies prevent it. I bought one and placed it in the villa, waiting to surprise you. All my future plans include you. Only you. My Richard. How can you so suddenly decide you don't need me? Like discarding an old shirt. So heartlessly? Did you ever truly love me at all? She practically shouted the last sentence, tears continuously streaming down her cheeks. She stared into my eyes, trying to catch any hint of wavering or softening. But she didn't find any, just as every time I collapsed and vented to her. Enough, Julia. Stop being unreasonable here like a kid who can't accept losing. She was hurt deeply by the word. Shocked. You're saying I'm unreasonable? I just don't understand why you're giving me a death sentence over a small thing. I finally laughed, tears falling. A small thing? Have you ever counted how many small things like this have happened? In your eyes, Eric's poverty is a fact. My grievances are just drama. His needs are sympathy. My boundaries are overreacting. Where were you when I was losing it, breaking down? Julia, let me tell you, the breakup isn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. It's because of your long-term disregard for my feelings concerning Eric. Now you talk about buying a villa and getting a cat. Where was that energy before? Deleting Eric, what's the point? Buying a villa, getting a cat, so what? To me, it's just your one-sided sentimental gesture. I don't need it anymore. As for your future plans, your reluctance, those are matters you need to handle after my letting go. After saying all this, I didn't wait for any reaction from her, decisively leaving, even as she hoarsely yelled at my back. Richard, how can you do this, letting go of 15 years of feelings just like that? I paused for a moment, turning back to answer her, just like every time I was on the brink, saying, Julia, I'm unhappy, I'm sad, I can't handle this, and you'd smile and say, stop overreacting. I learned to accept your neglect and now I'm giving it right back to you. Finishing that, I walked into the dorm's lobby without looking back, leaving that girl, who was once my whole world, along with all her pain, accusations, and shattered fantasies, completely separated by the glass revolving door. A new life really started from this moment. I was as busy as a spinning top every day. During the day, I bounced between classes and the library. At night, I worked late with classmates in the study hall. College life without Julia? I found I could still live it fully. I didn't return to Z City once in all 4 years. Julia, however, flew to G University every weekend. Even though she wasn't welcome, facing closed doors every time, she refused to give up. When I went out shopping with roommates, she followed, insisting on paying. If I studied in the library, she got up early to reserve a spot for me. Especially on my birthday, she would definitely buy a plane ticket and stand with a cake below the dorm, like a forlorn figure waiting. I refused to see her. She no longer went wild. She had learned to endure and accept. She always carried this lost look, yet tried hard to keep it together. Every week, she made her presence known in my world, like a craftsman trying to repair a broken glass. She'd do anything she could think of, awkward, stubborn, even borderline annoying. She refused to leave my life. If a guy got smitten by her looks and asked for her number, she'd coldly refuse and say loud and clear, I'm taken at G University. My roommates, moved by her sincerity, would urge me. 4 years and she's still the same. Shouldn't you give her another chance? I just shake my head. Too late. It's not right for her anymore. I'm going to America for grad school. Didn't even tell my roommates. I just bought a ticket and left quietly. Changed my number too, to avoid Julia's persistence. I heard she went crazy trying to find me at G University, even kneeled at my Uncle Simon's door, begging him to spill my whereabouts. It's at this moment she finally got it. For long, awkward years of trying to win me back were nothing but a delusion. The huge pain and emptiness consumed her. Her dreams shattered, leaving her with nothing but chaos. Never thought I'd run into Eric in the same group during my grad studies in the US. Seems he really put a lot of effort into chasing a better future. That whole I'm poor, I deserve a break mindset didn't fly at American schools, though. Once, Eric asked our professor if he could cut back on the data gathering tasks since he needed to work weekends due to his poor financial situation. He wanted other students to take on more of the basic work so he could focus on the analysis, saving him time but still earn money. His tone, as always, was like a struggling student who deserved sympathy. The room went silent. Everyone just looked around at each other. Our professor flatly refused. Eric, if you can't balance things, I wouldn't recommend continuing with me. Everyone here lives off scholarships and part-time jobs. No excuse. Eric stood there, his face turning all sorts of shades. No one pitied him or spoke up for him. In this place, poverty wasn't a privilege. It was a challenge to overcome. Things got worse when he tried getting his hands on the international research funds. In his application, he exaggerated his family's poverty and claimed to have been involved in an advanced research project back home. Problem was, the American professors did some serious background checks. Turns out, his involvement in the research wasn't as grand as he claimed, and his academic results couldn't stand scrutiny. They even found signs of fabrication. American universities have zero tolerance for academic dishonesty. Not only did they reject his application, but they also asked him to withdraw. Otherwise, he'd face harsher legal action. Eric broke down, crying, and came to me. Happy now? Are you satisfied? I just held my books, feeling a settled calm. When his status as a victim didn't sell anymore, the irony of fate was crystal clear. Indeed, karma may take its time, but it never misses. 2 years later, I finished my studies and came back to inherit a billion-dollar business. A paparazzi snapped a photo of me leaving the airport, posting it on high society gossip blogs. The buzz was out. The white moonlight was back. I didn't care much for gossip. I threw myself into the family business. A week later, at the RW Group board meeting, I became the heir and started this new chapter. At a grand charity gala a few days later, I mingled with elites and top scholars. In the corner, Julia watched quietly. She didn't approach until she spent a fortune on a $2 billion piece of art. She came over and said, "For my Richard." I just smiled and said, "I'm nobody's Richard. I'm my own son." The boy who once thought he couldn't live without her had been shattered and reshaped into the leader of our W Group. My future was much brighter than being anyone's Richard. Julia's mom bypassed her, shook my hand, and said, "So proud of you, Richard. Look at you, accomplished, handsome, and capable. That's the real winner in life. Love stories are nothing compared to being strong yourself. You don't know what your daughter's been through, but she can't force fate, and I just wish you happiness." Auntie, I am happy now. With my assistant and dozens of bodyguards, I headed to the airport, got on my private jet, symbolizing my identity, freedom, and a higher stage. At that moment, my inner peace and fulfillment peaked. Even the gossip blogs changed their headlines to "The Heir Returns."